Don't just stand there, you ape. Give me a hand up.
Until I watched Deadpool and Wolverine, I staunchly believed that nobody other than Hugh Jackman could ever do proper justice to our favorite adamantium X-Man. But the surprising appearance of Henry Cavill as Cavillerine most definitely changed that for me. I mean, is there anything Henry Cavill can't ace? With a mere 20-second long cameo, this man had us going nuts in the theaters. MCU fans had always imagined how the former Man of Steel would look as different Marvel heroes. And now that the cinematic universe has turned our fantasy into a beautiful reality, we simply cannot seem to get over it. With Henry Cavill's surprising cameo as a Wolverine variant in Deadpool and Wolverine taking the fandom by storm, a lot of wild speculations have been sparking around. Fans are now buzzing with questions about whether this is just a one-time appearance, or if Marvel Studios has bigger plans for Cavill in the MCU. Plus, Cavill fit into this role like a glove, and given the method actor he is, it looks like his take on Wolverine could just be the iconic reimagination we need of our favorite X-Man. So will we see a possibility for the former Superman returning as Wolverine in future MCU projects? Without wasting another moment, let's get into it. Before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us it means a lot. Thank you. Let's begin. The iconic appearance of Cavillerine in Deadpool and Wolverine. If you've watched the movie, you already know that the film starts with Deadpool being focused on saving his home in the timeline of Earth 10005, rather than the MCU's main timeline, known as Earth 616. The film also introduces us to the idea that the events in Logan were part of the same X-Men universe, and that Logan's death at the end of the film triggered the slow collapse of the timeline, as he was the anchor being of that world. We see approximately 9 different variants of Wolverine when Deadpool goes jumping from one timeline to another, looking for the perfect Logan to save his timeline. And amidst all this, he comes across Henry Cavill's variant. Wade Wilson dubs him as Cavillerine to playfully imply the ongoing fan casting of him as Wolverine in the MCU. And I believe this montage really deserves all the hype, as nobody expected the DCU's most popular superhero to join the MCU as a cigar-biting mutant with adamantium claws. To top it all off, we also got to see the most epic arm reload in cinematic history. Anyway, this version of Wolverine is seen fixing a motorcycle before turning around to reveal himself acing Wolverine's signature hairstyle and chomping on a cigar. When they meet, Henry Cavill's Wolverine looks at Deadpool and wastes no time, instantly drawing his claws to stab him right through the time door. However, this version of Wolverine does not seem to be from the comics, and was probably added just to bring in Cavill as fan service. True to form, Deadpool breaks the fourth wall by suggesting that Cavill should join the MCU, while quipping that they would treat him better than the folks down the street, implying how DC and Warner Brothers treated him at the end. This line humorously mocks the DCEU's abrupt reboot, which derailed Cavill's plans to return as Superman, after James Gunn and Peter Safran took over. Just to be clear, there's no bad blood between DC Studios and Cavill. It's just a bit of a letdown how things turned out, and that led many fans to suggest certain characters that Cavill could play in the MCU. Nonetheless, just imagine seeing Henry Cavill in the classic brown and yellow Wolverine suit. Picture of perfection indeed. But seriously, is there a role this guy cannot tackle? Henry Cavill's method acting as Wolverine sort of got him sick. Henry Cavill was genuinely determined to make his portrayal of a Wolverine variant as authentic as possible, but his dedication kind of came with a cost. Even though his screen time was brief, Cavill's Wolverine was one of the most memorable moments in the film, especially with that cigar he kept in his mouth. It was actually the director of Deadpool and Wolverine, Sean Levy, who shared that Cavill insisted on keeping the cigar lit and held it in his mouth throughout the entire 8-hour-long shoot, and because he was not used to it, Henry got really sick from it. But nobody even understood his condition at the time of shooting, as he never showed any signs of discomfort during the entire filming process. In another one of his interviews, Sean Levy talked about Henry's big cameo, saying that it was actually Ryan Reynolds who came up with Henry's official credited name as the Cavillerine. Just like that, everyone in the production team knew that the name was absolutely perfect when Ryan coined it. Even Henry did not need a lot of convincing to join the cast for a 20-second cameo, and agreed to it right away because he saw it as a fun, subversive twist. It was apparently all done with a lot of affection for him and his career, especially playing off his legacy as a DC hero, now that he was taking on a Marvel hero variant. While both the studio and the actor did a banger job keeping his shocking appearance a secret, after the film's release, Henry Cavill took to social media to talk about playing the character. He posted a photo of himself in the role, complete with the lit cigar and all. This post alone has racked up more than 3 million likes, which really is a fine representation of the level of shockwaves this cameo sent us through. In the caption, Cavill even joked about how he shaved the mustache off for his role, gently poking fun at the infamous digital removal of his facial hair during the Justice League reshoots when he played Superman. For those who are not aware of this whole fiasco, the entire world went batshit crazy when the DCEU did that horrible CGI job at digitally removing Henry's Mission Impossible mustache, which he could not shave due to his prior commitment. Will Henry Cavill return to reprise his role in the Marvel Cinematic Universe? Since Deadpool is always engaging with pop culture by breaking the fourth wall, casting Henry Cavill in a role where he absolutely nailed his 20-second cameo allowed MCU to have a bit of fun by taking a playful jab at the other comic book movie studio. You know, really adding that layer of self-awareness to the mix. And like Ryan Reynolds openly claimed, if anyone can take up the daunting task of matching up to Hugh Jackman's iconic portrayal, it's definitely Henry Cavill. Naturally, his cameo has sparked a lot of speculation about his future in the MCU, especially with the Russo brothers' Avengers Secret Wars on the horizon. Now that fans are expecting the film to feature various variants and cross-universe cameos, one viral theory suggests that Henry Cavill could be the Earth 616 variant of Wolverine. It's quite possible that they used his cameo to test the waters, and now that the studio knows the response to Cavill is overwhelmingly positive, it makes more sense to let him have a bigger role. But if Wolverine shows up in Secret Wars, it's more likely that Hugh Jackman will take on the role. However, that does not rule out the possibility of Cavill making another cameo, given the whole MCU multiverse gig. So who knows? He might even team up with Jackman's Wolverine in this one. Still, it makes sense for him to reprise his role a bit more permanently, as Henry Cavill brings with him a massive fan base from his days as Superman, and his portrayal of Wolverine has the potential to attract many DC fans who would be inevitably curious about his new role, thus boosting the MCU's already massive viewership. To top it off, Cavill's physical presence and acting skills are a great fit for Wolverine. Time and again, he's proven that he can handle intense, action-packed roles, and his rugged looks suit the character almost perfectly. With Hugh Jackman's long tenure as Wolverine, any new actor who tries to replace him needs to bring something fresh to the role, and Cavill offers this unique mix of charm, intensity, and physicality that could redefine Wolverine for a new generation. Known for his deep passion for his roles, Cavill's dedication would ensure he does Wolverine the justice it deserves, and his enthusiasm could resonate with the fans, who want an actor that truly cares about the character. But given that Kevin Feige announced at Comic-Con that there are not any immediate plans to recast Wolverine, it sort of implies that Hugh Jackman might return for Avengers Secret War, and possibly even for Wolverine vs. Hulk movies. However, Feige also noticed that any new Wolverine would need to bring a fresh approach, rather than just copying Jackman's portrayal. So that opens the door for Cavill, whose version of Wolverine already stands out enough to be distinct from Jackman's, while still staying true to the character from the comics. Plus, Feige is known for surprising fans with multiversal stunts. I'm sure you can remember the excitement when Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield returned as Spider-Man variants. But as of now, Disney and Marvel haven't officially confirmed whether Henry Cavill will return as Wolverine in Avengers Secret Wars, or any future MCU projects for that matter. Even then, the signs are promising, as Henry Cavill's cameo in Deadpool and Wolverine was a hit, and both fans and creators seemed excited about the possibility of seeing more of him in this new setting. Just imagine Cavill's Wolverine teaming up with the Avengers in Secret Wars, or taking on iconic villains through the multiverse. There really are endless possibilities for the studio to explore, so if they put their brains to it, we can see Cavillerine again. Because with the multiverse in play, Marvel has the flexibility to either bring Cavill's Wolverine into the main MCU timeline, or simply dive into alternate realities. While the MCU fanbase is buzzing with hope and anticipation, only time will tell what happens to this rumor. We all remember how Channing Tatum's Gambit was sidetracked, but I really hope that doesn't happen with Cavillerine. With that being said, would you guys love to see Henry Cavill in Secret Wars, fighting beside our Avengers crew? Let us know about your thoughts in the comments below. And if you liked our content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. Have a good one and be safe. Thanks everyone!